If you've landed here, you probably already know that you're dealing with a narcissist, or you have strong suspicions to that effect. Now, what we're talking about today is that discard phase. It's when the narcissist has already gone through the love bombing, they poured all their love on you, and they overwhelmed you with all this positivity, then they started devaluing, and then finally they decided, usually in a very cold and brutal way, they're done with you for the moment. And the good news is that you're out. It doesn't feel like that right now, but it is the good news. And so in this video, we're going to talk about what to do next. Let's get started. Welcome to the Common Ego community. My name is Christina, and in this video, we're talking about what to do after that final discard phase. In this case, either you have ended the relationship with the narcissist, or the narcissist has discarded you, and you're done. Either way, you're done. You already know you're dealing with a narcissist, or have strong suspicions, and you want out. But that trauma bond is strong, and breakups are hard. So where do we go from here? I have 3 main steps. Now that makes it sound like it's easy. It's not easy, but there are 3 things that you need to do after this discard. First, before you do anything else, just sit down and think about what boundaries you can set and follow through on. Now, if you don't have any ties to this person, the absolute best course of action, the best boundary you can take is no contact. If you let this person, this manipulative person, back into your life, you will undoubtedly regret it. So what does no contact mean? Exactly what it sounds like. You cut off all ties with this person. You don't necessarily have to change your number or address, but block them on social media, block their phone number, and don't accept anything from them. If they try to reach you through a friend, which they may do, tell that friend that you have no interest. This is the boundary that you're going to set. And if you need to, write it down. This is your plan of attack. This is how you're getting out, and this is the most important part of it right now. You need to remove yourself from this manipulative, abusive person so you can reset. Because emotional abuse is more than just a nuisance. It actually changes your brain chemicals. And that's what happens with the trauma bond. It's kind of like an addiction. It's almost like you're addicted to this person. You need to go cold turkey. You can't have them messing with your head while you're trying to recover. It won't work. Now, if you do need to have this person in your life, there's something that people call gray rock. And gray rock is that when you deal with a person as little as humanly possible. So let's say you have children together. You have to talk to this person at some point, right? Or communicate with them. Maybe you can keep it via text or email. Be careful about giving any information about yourself, and just keep the conversation all business as much as you can. They may ask about you and how you're doing, or if you think about them. They may make inappropriate comments. Ignore it. They may also try to inflame you. And they may try to start drama, especially if they've tried to be nice and it wasn't working. They couldn't get their foot in the door that way. They might try to start drama. Ignore it. Whatever you would normally do whenever this person started drama, do the opposite. Just gray rock means no emotion. Do not give this person any emotion whatsoever, because that's what they're feeding off of. Think of it this way. Giving them emotion is like giving them food. And you're not feeding them anymore. You're cutting them off. Someone else can feed them now. You're done. Okay, so now that we've dealt with the narcissist, we need to start detoxing from all the negativity. And there's a lot of negativity. An emotionally abusive relationship takes such a serious toll on your self-worth and your self-esteem. But it leaves you not knowing which end is up. And that's a completely normal feeling. So if you're feeling that, it's completely normal. And at this time, you may feel like you want to talk to somebody about all the mess that you've been going through. Because a lot of times in an emotionally abusive relationship, the target, the person in the relationship, will keep quiet about the abuse because they know something's wrong. They may not know it's abuse, and I have another video if you're interested on why it's so difficult to recognize abuse, but they may not know it's abuse, but they know something's wrong, and they know if they tell people in their lives about what's going on, it will taint the other people's opinions about the relationship and about that narcissistic person. And when you're not ready to give up on the relationship yet, you might not want to do that. So it's kind of common for somebody in a relationship like this to keep quiet about things. But now that it's over, now that it's really over, it's a good idea to talk about it. But you don't want to talk to just anyone. Be very careful about anyone who is still in the narcissist's life. Narcissists are very good at turning people against their targets. And I don't want to see this happen to you. So if you have any mutual friends, these aren't the people to talk to about this. As much as you might want to get them to see the light about this other person, understand that the narcissist has been doing this for a very long time. And there's more at stake. They do not want to be discovered for who they really are. They would go to great lengths to keep their secret. So don't bother. Do not play this game. You won't win. You won't win because you don't have a personality disorder. It's not even playing ground. So be careful about who you talk to, but it is a good idea to talk to someone. So if you have a family member or a friend that is just yours that the narcissist can't get to, talk to that person, unload, tell them about all your experiences and what it felt like, and as long as you can trust this person and they'll listen and be there for you, it's a great idea to do that. If you don't have someone like this, you may want to consider maybe joining a support group or going to see a counselor to talk about these things, because emotional abuse can lead to anxiety, depression, and even in severe cases, a form of PTSD. So if you feel like you need to get stuff off your chest, do it, and understand that it's an important part of the recovery process. Number 3 is you need to practice self-love. And if this sounds like a foreign concept to you, you're not alone. Actually, this is common not even just among targets of emotional abuse. I think it's common just in the population in general. We're not used to focusing on ourselves. So when it comes time to practice self-love, we don't always know what to do. So somebody might say, well, do what makes you happy. But if you've spent so much time making other people happy, how do you know what that is? It's difficult. So if you do have something where you know that it makes you happy, that's awesome. And do it. Do it all day. Do it as much as you can. If you don't feel bad. You can have fun trying things. Try new things. Just try to avoid anything that could be harmful to you. So, maybe avoid extreme sports, avoid excessive drinking, or excessive shopping. Retail therapy can be fun, but it can also be really damaging to your finances. So instead, try to focus on things that foster creativity, like singing or dancing or painting, things like that. And you can have fun. You can try something new every week. You don't have to be good at it. You do not have to be good at it. Most of us, we sing in the shower, right? I'm not a good singer, but it's fun to sing. It makes you feel good. And that's the important part. Same thing about dancing. Dance like no one's watching. And if you're self-conscious about it, dance when no one's watching. When you're all by yourself, just get moving. Start to bring that free, childlike feeling back into your life. And your goal here ultimately is to build a life that you love so much that you would never dream of going back to that narcissistic person. Okay, so those were the 3 things that you need to do after the discard. Now, there's another note I want to make. On this channel, we talk a lot about the connection between narcissism and spirituality. And that connection often has to do with evaluating the triggers of emotional abuse and looking within yourself to figure out what you need to work on. And that is something that can come a little bit later. Once you've gotten through this post-discard phase and you're getting back to yourself again, then you can start working on you. These experiences, I strongly believe, they're here to teach us. They're here to act as mirrors for what we need to look at. So I know for me in my relationships, there were always things that I was specifically triggered by. And I knew that they were personal triggers. I knew that not everybody would be upset about this or that happened, or something that, the narcissist would say. And afterwards, I started exploring those things. Well, why? Why are those things so triggering for me? And that led to a time of doing some deeper work. First comes the self-love, because you need to get to a place where you love yourself. And then comes the self-work. That's just something to keep on your radar for right now. At this point, focus on those 3 things, and you'll be just fine. So I want to hear from you. If you've been through this before and have fully recovered, I want to know what things you found most helpful during this post-discard phase. Was there anything I didn't mention? Let's talk about it in the comments, because maybe there are a few things that can help other people who may read the comments. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. That's all for now. Talk soon.